everyone. I'm going to do my case study on a client that I had from Family Woodstock at my internship, and I'm going to give her a name. Is Martha. She was an African American lady in her mid-60s. Her issue was having a problem with body image, and the definition for body image I'm going to use today is from Marshall, Lengyel, and Menec, and it's from 2014. So body image extends beyond the idea of just the way you look at your body. It integrates into the way you feel and your thoughts and how you overall see the world. It goes through everything. It affects the way you move through your life. And overall, Martha was very affected by the way she saw her body. She felt that she was shortchanged in life. She felt ugly. She felt this way her whole life. She did not like her body at all. She felt like she had wasted her life. That was a really common theme when she would call. She felt like she had many regrets, and she was mostly unfulfilled with her life, and it had to do with the way she looked, and her self-esteem was very low. The point I would like to make, and it has to do with cultural sensitivity. I have this research that was done by Watson, Annex, White, and Nazari, and it was done in 2013, and they said that positive affirmations on racial identity can also act as a positive factor on body image. So if Martha had positive affirmations as a child on her racial identity, towards her racial identity, she possibly could have had a positive body image. However, her mother had bipolar, and she was pretty much not present in her life, at least even if she was present, she wasn't present emotionally for her. And she had a sister who was an older sister who was very antagonistic towards her. So she had very turbulent, very absent life, absent relationships in her life. And she pretty much, stated that she felt very invisible, if she was at all seen by anyone. It was a very negative type of relationship. She did work, but it was at very, manual type jobs, and she was not very happy. Though she was a pensioner, she was not a very fulfilled person. And so she went through life feeling that unnoticed and very unfulfilled. And she pinned this pretty well on the way she had looked. The long-term goals I had for her was for her to go into counseling, to go into to see a regular therapist, and to deal with some of these this feeling that she had, to unburden this type of feeling. The specific problems, or the problems with prioritizing what she was going through, was the lens that I used to deal with Martha was life course perspective. So when I saw Martha, or not saw, but when I talked to Martha on a regular basis, I wasn't just looking at her biology or her social or factors or her psychological factors. I was seeing the whole package. So when she called, it was like, okay, so what are we going to talk about today, Martha? Because she was invisible, or she felt like nobody was hearing her, I let her control the conversation. This was her time to shine. This was her moment in the sunlight. So it was like, okay, Martha, this is you. You do you, and you share what you need to share here. I'm listening. I'm here to listen. So this is Martha, doing Martha. So it was her conversation. So sometimes it was hard to prioritize what Martha needed to do. So I guess the prioritization was based on Martha. at that moment. So there was a lot of, just listening to what Martha needed to get out, and what Martha really needed to be heard. So the intervention strategies for me mostly were motivational interviewing. And also, when I was at Adirondack College, I had a professor, Dr. Treadway, who would talk about a very effective strategy to use called dreaming, or to listen for is dreaming, is when clients start talking about goals that they have, or they start talking about, they want to go back to school, they want to buy a new car, they want to get together and buddy up and go to the movies, they want to go to the beach together, their kids are going to go to the playground. They start to move beyond their issues, their problems, their disorder, and they start making plans for the future. And so when I would listen to Martha share, I would always want to hear her dreams. Martha was a really unique individual. She was incredibly smart, unbelievable. She would go around to libraries, and this is an incredible story. She would get academic books, and she had these incredible ideas on macro theory, on community theory. And this was a lay person. This was somebody, she did this for fun. She would, brilliant lady. She had concerns with the George Floyd case and the pandemic, and she felt that society should move beyond these town hall meetings and develop new ideas on theories, and to help us as a community come together better and to heal. She just was really a brilliant woman, and I felt that aside from her body image issues, there was more to her than just her body. She had a brilliant mind, and there's other aspects of her to focus on. And I didn't see her body. I heard her mind, and I was listening, and she counted to me. And so she needed to know that in the halls of academia, she would be heard, because she had a lot of wonderful ideas. And so that was also a strength perspective. She was incredibly smart, and she could reinvent herself, right? And so the problems with that, with her and I, is that I'm a crises counselor. That's by definition. When you call, it's just the luck of the draw. You could get me, or you could get 3 other different counselors. So when she'd call and she would get me on the phone, she'd be like, "Oh, is this Canadian, Lisa? Am I getting, Canadian?" Because she connected me to something positive. On her holidays, she would go, to Niagara Falls, the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. And so I was a positive connection for her. And so she can make positive connections. So it was just those negative messages that she had in her brain, and so, I couldn't stress enough, counseling with a regular counselor to help her move beyond those ideas of, negative body image ideas, and perhaps to a brighter future. Everybody has something to offer in society. Everybody does, and to see a new potential. We're not done until we're done, right? And so, she would call anyway every week, even if she felt like, no matter what she was saying, she still called. So she, there was that feeling in her that there must be some truth in this, because she would call. So my question to you is that, how would you feel if you had a more mature woman calling with body image issues. Research has always focused on young white college students, but the research that has focused on it, but research has shown that all women from all ethnic backgrounds, all ages, have body image issues. It's not just one specific target group. In fact, a lot of women in the 40, it's $1 billion industry in the 40 plus group that spend billions of dollars on body works, on cosmetic surgery, on, moisturizers, on hair stuff. How would you feel if, I walked into your office with body image issues? What would you say? To tell you the truth, with Martha and myself, it was a long 8 months of talking and listening, and not feeling invisible. So thanks for letting me share. Thank you.